I mean, people now, subhanAllah, not only do they, okay, so back then, Aisha radiallahu anha also described being physically, larger. People used to mature quickly. I mean, now, people don't mature sometimes at all. And it's, subhanAllah, you know something? You know, when we grew up, our parents were respectable people. Your dad was a respectable guy. And for me, my dad was a very dignified guy. And for me, that was an important part of growing up. And I never grew up with my dad doing dumb things around the house. He never did dumb things around the house. He never jumped around and danced at parties or played video games in front of me. And I always think that if my dad played video games in front of me, I would turn out worse. I'm not going to say turn out horrible, but turn out worse. But now look at the new generations. And those of you who are dads who play video games in front of your child, what on earth is that all about? And do all kinds of weird things in front of your kid. It's weird. So, I know I'm not really, but what I'm trying to say is that I wonder and I used to go get my hair cut in this place for 2 years. And obviously I haven't been there in 2 years, right? So, these guys, they were grown men, and they had children, multiple children, and every time I go get my hair cut, and they talk to each other. And every sentence begins and ends with dude, and it has dude in the middle. And they play video games, and that's all they talk about. They talk about sports or video games. What level are you at, dude? Dude, I'm here. That's all they do. And these are fathers, people, and they're so immature. And I used to wonder, when I first came into the States, I used to wonder at how immature people were. Someone would be in his 20s, and he's so immature. And in Sudan, you'd find a 13-year-old girl, if her mother is traveling or away, she would cook and prepare, food for the entire house, and a real meal, not just like heat up some, toasty frosts or whatever it is. She'd cook up real food, the house will be clean, and she'll do her homework, and if she has younger kids, she'll take care of them. And she's still a young girl, she doesn't lose her childhood, traumatized, and all the garbage that they say now. Just a normal thing. And I've come here, people in their 20s, immature. I used to listen to this show, that doctor on the radio? I don't know if you have her here, but Dr. Laura, very famous, and people call her with their problems. And I remember it was when I first arrived in the States, I would listen to the radio show, and some guy would call up, "Hi, Dr. Laura. I have a problem." It's okay, this guy must be like 17 or something. And she was saying, "How old are you?" "I'm 45. What's the matter with you? 45? So people don't mature, so now... So here's using statistics to show the Sunnah of the Prophet makes sense. Another fact.
The average video gamer is 30 years old.
Oh man, that's a disgusting fact. Really? 30 years old? The average video gamer is 30 years old. 31 years old. I hate video games. It's such a problem. Grown men. Got blisters on their thumbs. Grown men.